If you were 10 years younger, looking at the person you are today, what would you ask your current self and what would you answer? Taking into account your answer, would you ask that same question to yourself in 10 years if they were standing in front of you? Oh boy, I'm just going to throw a question like that at me. If you were 10 years younger, looking at the person you are today, what would you ask your current self? Well, I'd probably ask my current self, how did you do it? Because if you rewind 10 years ago, I was 20 years old. Holy cow, I was 20 years old and I was probably, not that money matters, but I was probably making anywhere between $10,000 to $20,000 a year. That would be my guess. So I would ask how you did it, and my answer would be, the problem is I wouldn't believe my answer. The answer would be think bigger and believe that you can create something amazing. Maybe don't focus on the racing so much, or if you do, really go all in and believe that you can win. Why not? Or think even bigger than that. And what does that lead you to? Well, for me, very quickly, when I started to think bigger and ask the right questions, I arrived at the answer of growing a community is the biggest thing and the best thing, the most rewarding thing that I could do, right? And with that, you provide so much value that you end up making the money that you wanted to make in the first place because you're providing such a valuable service, and that valuable service is that of teaching people to ride their dirt bikes and creating a community. So yeah, think bigger. Think bigger. Because 10 years ago, a lot of what I was hearing was, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. I heard that so many times. So that was sort of the belief system. One of the belief systems that I was operating under was, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. So anytime something appeared to be good, or even in other people's lives appeared to be good, I would write it off as luck, or, they ran into this chance opportunity and they didn't really deserve it. And so basically just not understanding how things work and what is actually possible. My mindset now is, I believe that anything is possible for anybody. I do. Great question. And then the second part of that, part two of part one of the question, taking into account your answer, would you ask that same question to yourself in 10 years? No, I wouldn't. If they were standing in front of you. No, right now at 30, I would not ask 40-year-old AJ, how did you do it? Because I know how for the most part, I've got a good feeling how 40-year-old AJ is going to have done it at that point. I really do. It's all laid out in front of me. I've ran through the vision 1 million times. I continue to run through it every single day. I'm also aware enough that to create that, I have to have the flexibility to be able to defer and take the forks in the road and not just stick to the rigidity of the vision, because in 10 years, it's probably going to look slightly different than what I envision it to be. I get that. What question would I maybe ask? I don't know. If I knew that question, I can't predict what the question would be in the future, or else I wouldn't ask the question because I would know the answer. Does that make sense? If you guys enjoyed this podcast clip and you want to listen to full episodes, you can do so on Spotify and Apple Music. If you want to send in your own video submission, you can join us in the Moto Academy family inside of the Moto Academy app by just going to themotoacademy.com. That's also where you can sign up for a class. Okay, guys, see you next episode.